Knock knock, happy equinox and new moon. It's Colleen. Jazz hands. How are you? I put my hair up so that I don't catch on fire, so that it doesn't catch on fire. And yeah, I know, I think this is technically a sexy time nightgown, but since I don't have sexy time with anyone other than myself, I might as well have sexy time with you guys here on Instagram. Right? Actually, I think Equinox, the fall equinox, if you're in North America, I heard a fucking hilarious song the other day by LCD Sound System. It's my new dancey song. Maybe I'll put it on. North America. He was just like unapologetically, here are my new bangs, by the way, that I didn't cut. I just woke up with them. What am I doing in my sleep? This song about North America was hella funny. I was like, this is why people don't like Americans or Canadians or whatever he is. I guess we're separate. I'm trying my other phone, not my burner phone. Hi, Mike T. Comedy. I like how your name rhymes. How are you tonight? I'm glad you like comedy because I'm hella fucking funny. Get ready. Apparently I only have an hour. That's what I was going to say. I was going to hella read my oracle that I pulled. I think it was like the witch, the weaver of worlds. But guess what happened? Instagram was like, it was like Spaceballs. Your life is going to self-destruct in 7, 6, 4. And then remember, Dark Helmet goes, what the hell happened to 5? And I was like, oh, what happened to 5? And I was like, I gotta go buy. I love you. I gotta go buy. Do you remember this Mike T comedy? I don't even know who the heckos you are. Are we friends? Mr. Nicholas O'Connor? Right? You're Irish, Nick, right? You're not Scottish like me. I've discussed this. That would be a Mac name. You're an O. He sent me this necklace, like, for my birthday. The box said the twinkling tree, and I was like, twinkling trees, hell yeah, I like both of those things. And it's a moon with a glow in the dark ball. I don't know how else to put it in the middle. And I called up Nick. I was like, well, Nick, it doesn't glow in the dark. He's like, you gotta buy a black light and stand by it. I was like, that sounds expensive. Like, why don't I just go to Goth Club or something? He's like, no, just go to like the freaking Halloween store and buy a $1 light bulb. I should have done that and put it up here. But then, whatever. Jazz hands. Mike, are you still there? Oh, I don't have any music on yet. So how are we this evening? How is everybody? How are my peoples? How are you? I'm going to do a free oracle. I'm the oracle, by the way. I'm just going to blah, blah, blah. Anybody that comes in, I'm going to give you psychic advice mixed with my infinite wisdom and sources suggestion for you. I might pick a card, I might not. I might just run my mouth like I do. Free of charge! So, come on in. Mike, I don't know who... I think you left after I waved at you, which is rude. I think that's rude. Anyway, yeah, the equinox was in North America here. Sit up straight. Thursday, right? The 22nd. Master number 22. Can be reduced down to master number 11, but you don't do that because it's a master number. 22, master builder. 11, master communicator and healer. Huh. Somebody here? This is the feather. One night on my walkabout, actually it's kind of a sad story. The first night, I was walking and I found a couple of these and I was so excited. I was like, these are so pretty. I never find white feathers. I hardly ever even see white birds. And then the next night on my walkabout, guess what I found? A dead white bird face planting by the tree. I was like, oh no, I was collecting your little feathers. I thought you were alive. I guess not. I guess a cat killed him. Speaking of cats, my Skywalker is trying to get in the cabinet. You're a Skywalker, not a cabinet goer inner. Oh, guess what? I'm out of what are they called? Earwax sticks. The things that I was playing with. I only have one left, and it's been all over the place. It's been in the cat pan. It's been in the cat water bowl. It's been in like my toilet. I fished it out all over the place because I only have one left. And although I am an abundant ass bitch, I'm not gonna go buy thousands of earwax sticks right now. So we're being conservative. I have one. We might do our circus act later tonight. There's a dog barking. Anyway, last live, it kicked me off after 59 minutes and 59 seconds, right? And when I was in the middle of reading my oracle, which was mischief. Was it trick or treat? Mischief and fun, or trickery and fun, like a mixture of both. And I think the witch, weaver of worlds. But tonight, I have so many decks. I want to show you this one after I finish staring into space. The equinox was Tuesday. I was actually at a memorial for my friend, George, who has passed. He was a coworker. We both worked at corrections years ago. He trained me when I came into the building, and he was always kind and compassionate and patient with my ass, which of course is very much appreciated. Because you know how I am. He was trying to teach me how to order steel toilets, office supplies. We were starting with office supplies. And I was like, why is this so hard? Why can't I? Because where I was coming from, I had a credit card, a Cal card, they call it, California card. I was just talking to one of my other ex-coworkers about this. And it was kind of fairly simple. Like I would go to officemax.com and buy a bunch of pink push pins and staplers and stuff, and everybody in my office was like, why do you have the authority to order all this pink stuff? And I was like, I don't know, man, they gave me a credit card and my boss signed up on it, so you're gonna use it and you're gonna like it and you're gonna look fabulous when you do it. Staple. He got in the cabinet. Squeakers has been in all of my drawers, all of my cabinets. I've been documenting it here. It's a photo docu-series called Squeakers in Stuffs. Anyway, so I was at George passed. I thought he was my age. I guess he was like 52. And the last conversation we had was about spirit animals and totems. Maybe I'll pull from that deck tonight before it becomes 59 minutes and 59 seconds. That's a good deck. And I met his brother at the service. I'm glad, because he was telling me about this brother I hadn't met, who like lives on a reservation with his wife, and because she's Native American. I forget which tribe, forgive me. And what are you doing, Squeakers? There happens to be stuff in whatever cabinet he's in. It sounds like quicksand. He may never come back, Squeakers. Squeakers, I don't know if I can stand up. I might show everyone my portal and not just my mouth portal. Okay, it got quiet. Unfortunately, though, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, George? George's brother, Javier, and his beautiful wife. I met them on Thursday. Barely. Like, for some reason, I thought the service was going to be here on Stockton Boulevard. Oh, no. So I leave 15 minutes before the service, and then the direction guy in my car yells. And I need to change it to a woman, by the way. Do I need a man yelling at me about what to do? He was like, okay, go down this road, 99, which I'm not really a fan of because it's kind of traumatic for me at this point. Like, I spent a lot of time on 99, right? Not to rehash the past, because I'm letting go of the past, and I welcome in beautiful, new, wondrous activities and people only. But I have love for my past. But anyway, goodbye past. So I wasn't real happy about getting on 99. I'm like, what am I doing on 99? And it goes, okay, drive here for like an hour and a half. I'm like, oh no, where am I going? Like Modesto? Oh God. So I was a little bit late. But I met his beautiful brother, who's like a shaman. And I was like, oh hey, I'm a shamanatrix. George was telling me about how you had told him that he's a brown bear. And then George says to me, like, out of nowhere, he's like, I think that you must be a bird. And I was like, well, yeah, you're a Virgo too. Virgos, like, identify with birds. But George was a heavy-set guy, and that's part of why he passed. He was obese, and then he caught pneumonia. He was just so tired and exhausted, and after that conversation, I wrote him that poem, and I messaged it to him about 2 weeks after our conversation and did not hear back. And I guess he'd been, like, in a coma from the time we got off the phone. I hope it wasn't something I freaking said. He's probably like, oh, this bitch, like, geez, I don't want to live anymore. I hope not. I mean, unless he's probably much happier. I know he wasn't comfortable in his body. Like, Squeakers isn't going to be if he doesn't get out of the cabinet. What is the point in turning off the refrigerator if you're going to be an asshat in the cabinet? I'm trying to stay on scene. So George passed. Apparently, he was, like, out of it for a very long time, and then his family posted on his page that he had passed, and they're like, the memorial is going to be here, and I thought it was in Sacramento, but it wasn't. And I met Javier and his lovely wife, and now we're friends, and I met several of George's friends, and now I have a bunch of, what was I saying? Majestic new friends. So I'm excited about that. I was probably the happiest person at the funeral, which may have been disrespectful, I don't know. Like, I got up there and talked, I'm all, hey, I'm representing the coworkers. I don't see any other coworkers here. There were a lot of guys that did gaming with him, and a lot of family members, and they all looked a lot like George. I was like, you guys, this is really cool. It's like so many Georges, and they laughed. And so I said, I'm Colleen, and George tried to talk to me about corrections, but I never wanted to, and we eventually both left corrections. He was working for his family business when he passed. But I read him that poem, and they all clapped, and I felt weird. I was like, well, thanks, George, not me. Let's not clap for me at this memorial. But it sure is nice to see people, like, resonate with the work and to honor who inspired it. And you know why I wrote it? One of those evenings after we got off the phone, I was sitting in my backyard. Yes? Do you like this toy? Okay, I'll let you out. Not out, just in the garage. I was sitting in my backyard, as I do many mornings. It was like mid-morning. That's when the butterflies start coming out. The other day, by the way, when I got upset at Mike with the Sister Christian. You remember that song? Motorin'. Anyway, when I was so fucking upset at him and I was raging at Rachel, which was uncalled for and rude, I shouldn't do. Like, the 3 white butterflies and the 2 monarchs, the orange ones, they circled my face so tight, like I almost inhaled it. I couldn't even bitch. I was like trying to make a message. This looks like I'm smoking crack. I was trying to record a message on the phone to Rachel, and they wouldn't let me. Like, they were spinning around my face, and I almost inhaled one. They're like, stop it. With the old and with the new, right? I'm like, all right, I won't harass Rachel. And then I sat down and had a better day. But way before that, like, the reason I started writing the poem about the bear, actually, he may have slipped into a coma at that point, like right after he got off the fucking phone with me, because in the wood, in the fence right across from me, I saw, like, what looked like the face of a bear. And it looked kind of really somber. And it was like a big bear face. Not like Winnie the Pooh bear, but like a big brown bear, like we've been talking about. And I saw it, like, stronger and stronger every day until I wrote that poem. And then when I heard that he died, a couple days before that, I had noticed the bear in the fence was, like, smiling. It wasn't frowning anymore. And I thought of him again, and then I saw that post on his page by his family. So I don't like saying rest in peace, because I don't think they're resting. I think that we're kind of dead here, don't you think? We're so limited and restricted. I mean, not my ass. I'm a free spirit. But one of the last times I was at my mom's, which was on her birthday. Actually, every time I go over there, although we don't always get along, and I have talked an awful lot of shit skis about Mom, and I feel actually kind of bad about one of the poems I wrote. One of the very first poems I wrote was about her. And I know she reads it because she goes to my website like every day. Both her and my dad to check on me, I guess, because they're stalkers, but I imagine that was hurtful to her. But like, it never, you don't have to, I guess, ever apologize for how you feel in this life. Ever. That includes like anger, sadness, depression, because however you feel is authentic. And I've been learning that about anger because I study astrology, you know, like Aries and Mars, right? It's action, it's anger. What does anger do? It kind of helps you, it propels you into action. And it's okay to have anger. It's just, for me, with all this Libra, it's been about being kinder and choosing between, not anger, but fear and love. You know, like in Donnie Darko? I know Patrick Swayze had a shit character in that movie, but he talks about, and they use this against him. There was probably an agenda in that movie. He talks about there only being fear and love, and Donnie Darko was like, no, there's not, you stupid fuck, there's everything in between. And I thought so too at the time. But now that I think about it, like, there really isn't. I mean, emotions are valid, and whatever you feel is valid. But, Michael, the Aquarius, is calling me. That's the problem with using this phone. Hey, I'm surprised he's calling me. Maybe he's out, because guess who stopped by my house again? At 9 o'clock at night. And this time I let him in. Michael the Aquarius. And we talked for a while. He was actually really kind and nice and said nice things. And he says that I always make him feel loved and appreciated. But then he texted me and he's all, I have a confession to make after he had left. And I was like, what? He's like, when you sent me down the hall to use your bathroom, I opened up the closet door. And I was like, did you piss in my coat closet? And he's like, no, I just opened it up. Just wanted you to know I wasn't like digging around in there. I'm like, well, there's nothing in there but old computers and some coats I don't wear because it's always 110 degrees. But that scared me. I thought he peed in my closet. I gotta be honest. I have no idea what I was talking about. Anger, fear, love, shit. What was I talking about? Mike T Comedy, your freaking name is there. It's all I can see. Get rid of this. Because I know you're not there. I keep looking at it. I'm like, it's like I'm talking to you, but I'm not. Unless you are there. Weirdo. Oh yeah, that poem I'd written about my mom. So like, I'm allowed to have whatever fucking feelings I want about my mom. And I can express them however I want. It's a good poem. It's just, I've mentioned like, my view of my mother may have been tainted by someone else, how people talk about people. Just form your own opinions of people. But I was hurt by my mother, and I continue to be many days. And I don't understand anyone in my earth family, I'll be honest. I don't understand them. That's okay. Like I told them, I can love them from afar, but you're not going to turn off my light or tear down my wings anymore. I don't know if you know that you're doing that, but it is what you are doing when you're being mean. Because you don't think you have your own light or your own wings. That actually goes for anything evil, I think. So, like, if you're in a relationship and you notice that when you're happy, your partner's, like, mad or sad. And when you're mad or sad, your partner's kind of happy. It's because you're in a shitty toxic dynamic and you're pulling off each other's energy. And you shouldn't do that. You should turn on your own light and put up your own wings and shine. And don't let anybody feed off that or try to take it down. Because you're not somebody's battery. And if somebody's jealous or envious, it's probably not really at you. They don't really hate you. They just hate themselves because they don't have their light and their wings on. Antenna up, tiara on, ladies and gay men. Antenna up like an alien and tiara on. Anyway, last time I was at my mom's, she gave me this. Actually, I kind of asked her if I could have it because my mom and I actually do have a lot in common. A lot. I just personally have I want to transmute some of the misaligned Virgo energy in the family, which is manifested in anxiety, and then several disorders, and then overarching themes in the family of abandonment, and then psychological terror, abuse of all forms, all of that. I want to do better. So, I mean, but that's my quest in this life. And as I said, I welcome in the new. And I'm excited about it. But anyway, at her house, I found this little deck. I don't have the box. It said, it's poetry and old school illustrations. And it's like 50 to 50. Did you hear that? Are you okay? Okay. It's like 50 poems and beautiful illustrations. So it's not even a spooky oracle. We can do that. I'm going to pick one and then read it right now. And I can't really shuffle because there's fire everywhere. I actually shuffled this like 500 times, okay? So, okay. I picked one. I like these all. None of them are depressing. Kind of like this deck I told you about. I pull 3 every day to make my own little fairy tale. And guess what I got today? And I needed it because yesterday I was worrying. Peace. Positivity. That's a wolf. And a lady and an owl. And then mystical. I don't know if that's the Satan star. Is that what you call it? I hope not. I don't practice magic like that. I just pray and ask God to work through me. Okay, so this is this is my favorite one. One of my favorite ones. It's a little girl and the moon. Look, she's looking up. I pulled this the other day. I frequently pull the same cards from every oracle every day because I tend to get stuck in the energy, which is actually the anxiety that I was speaking of, and I work on it every day. That goes back to the love fear thing. I'm like, okay, angels, help me choose something based on love and not fear. A thought, a word, a poem, lyric, line, limerick, verse, chorus, verse, whatever. And then that's of love. And then help me see from a bigger picture, and then help me bring it down to earth. Which is what a Sagittarius Virgo would do, right? Bigger picture, details. Bigger picture, details. That's not so bad when you look at a squaring aspect like that, huh? I always think of it as bad. But if you take like the expansion of Jupiter and you mix it with the myopicness of Virgo, then you have like an earth focused spirituality, I guess, especially with Neptune there. So anyway, and the poem here says, are you ready? I see the moon, and the moon sees me. God bless the moon, and God bless me. Anonymous. That's sweet. Maybe we don't need any other oracle than that. So I don't know if this is going to kick me off, and I don't know how long I've been on here, and I wonder what Michael the Aquarius has to say, and if he's outside in the bushes. I hope not. Well, oh, there's a new moon, I think tomorrow, actually, ladies and gentlemen, the 25th of September. It's in, it's in lovely Libra. Let me consult my calendar. Right here. It says Rosh Hashiwash begins at sundown. That's not what I don't know what that means. That's what we call when I'm speaking of my mom. One of her cat's names is Hashi, and we call him Hashiwashi. I may have mispronounced that or read it. Hold on. Rosh Hashanah. Brim full of Asher on the 45 starts tomorrow at sundown. Get ready. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a bosom. Mine's on the 45. Do you remember that one? I would play it actually might get kicked off just for fucking saying that. Too bad. That's a good song. That's what the hell is that? I don't know. It's a good one. Should I play it? Should I play some music? See, my burner phone is... Ooh, look how pretty that looks in the candle. Maybe you can't see it, but it's like... It's glowing here. It's 8:11. On my walkabout, I walked by, I was moping around and overthinking in my head. And I looked down, and the house I was in front of was, it was painted on the sidewalk. 311. I was like, oh yeah. Come original. I love that song. Do you think I could play that? I love to listen to 311 in the shower and in the bathroom when I'm dancing, but I never know what they're saying, even in that song. I like the part where he goes, beautiful as you and they like to dance. I don't know who or what he's talking about, but that's my favorite part of that particular song. And you'll know just what dope is. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. Let's see. I've been listening to Los Lobos because I rewatched La Bamba the other day, and I actually really like Los Lobos' version of La Bamba because I love the fucking guitar solos or whatever the hell is going on at the end. It like sends me. I'm like, oh, synesthesia. That was one of the poems I just wrote. Because, like, I feel music, I see it, I can taste it, I can hear it. Like the parrot card, again, I pulled that parrot card today, and it says, listen with your heart. I'm like, yeah, I listen with my vagina, my clitoris, my eyeballs, my nose, my nipples, everything I listen with. Like, I feel it everywhere, and I see stuff, and I'm just like, that's so beautiful. Synesthesia, I got that word, I was reading a Marilyn Monroe interview. And she said she was claiming to have that. She's like, everything blurs together and blends together, all my senses. And she's Neptunian. She's got Neptune in the first. That's why she didn't live here either. And that's why everybody was projecting on her. She probably would have liked somebody to like her for her. Candle in the wind, as Sir Elton John said about her. Do you remember when he redid that for Diana? And I remember the guy from Oasis, Noel, or the other one. He's all, way to go, mate. Dead Blonde 97. It's kind of disrespectful, isn't it? I was all, yeah, I agree. Like, you wrote that for Marilyn. Sir Elton. What makes you a sir, by the way? The Dead Lizard Queen? Beautiful as you and they like to dance. I don't want to talk about lizards. I don't feel like it. I already showed you my pumpkin, right? Yeah. Oh. Spotify's asking me to make my own special playlist. It's like, what colors do you like? Speaking of colors and synesthesia. I was like, purple, orchid, pink. Okay. And then it's like, what kind of texture do you like? I was like, smooth. But then it put a bunch of weird shit on there. I don't know what, I've never heard this stuff. Because Colleen, it called it Getting Ready with Colleen Cherie. 9:23. I was like, okay. And I listened to it when I was in the shower, but it wasn't as fun as like, Come Original. I wasn't having as much fun. Rayleigh's that I used to go in when I was a kid, and my mom would just let us run amok, and I got in trouble at the bakery for stealing all the donut samples, and then I think my mom slapped me. But anyway, that Rayleigh's that we used to go in, we would read the Teen Beat magazines, me and my sister, and then we would sneak away to the bakery and steal all the donut holes. And they were like, knock it off. And I was like, no, I don't get food at home. Like, I want these donut holes. Please let me have them. And I had to split them with my sister. It was like a big pile of donut holes, They put them in the samples. And they're like, we can't make this many donut holes in a day. Sorry, we are not your parents. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I put all the donut holes I could before they caught us in my little pockets, like Napoleon Dynamite with the tots. And then we would go read New Kids on the Block magazines. My favorite was John, who turned out to be gay. I was always upset because he was with Tiffany at the time. I think we're alone now, Tiffany. But now I know that doesn't even matter because he was gay. He figured I liked the gay one. Dang it. He had his antenna up and his tiara on, huh? I'm sorry if I was telling a story. I don't know what the shit it was. Oh, Los Lobos. Yeah, so I was watching La Bamba, And I remember this Los Lobos story. And I thought I would tell it here. I hope there's not a cat in here. If there is, you're going to have to let me know, cat, because I'm closing it. I remember being in the theater. Do you remember when Los Lobos were popular? I want to say it was either late 90s or early aughts. I don't know what movie I was seeing. It could have been... I've only actually seen a few movies in the theater. The first one was Neverending Story 2. My father took me and my brother, and we were bitterly disappointed because sequels suck. It did not compare to the Neverending Story. No offense to Jonathan Brandis, I love you. One of my first loves. But then I think we saw... Do you know what? My father took us with his girlfriend at the time, whom I loved. She was really sweet. Susan. He was always, every time I misbehaved or said something, my father would look at me and go, Susan would be appalled that you said that. And I was like, she would? I don't think so. I like Susan. Me and my brother used to giggle, and we'd say that a lot. Every time one of us would act like an ass, we'd be like, Susan would be appalled. She liked us. She bought me a necklace at, I think we were in Macy's or Nordstrom. She's like, which one do you like? And I went to like this rack of like 1920s Art Deco looking jewelry, and I was like, I didn't know I was picking one. I was like, that one's beautiful. And then like she got it for me. I was, I guess about 10, but I think that day, that was a nice day. They took us to see, I think we had gone to see Toy Story, which I enjoyed. I may have been older at that point, but when I was younger, we went to see Independence Day. And this is how I feel about movies, basically. Because I never understood, like, at a social interaction, especially on a date, men, going into a dark room and, like, staring at a movie that usually does not interest me. It's the opposite. I'm like, I want to be talking to you and learning about you and what you like and how you feel, and then I want to be, like, making out with you. I don't want to be staring. I guess you can make out in the theater or something, but that seems like a waste of money. I don't know. I never made out in the theater. Anyway, I fell asleep in Independence Day. It's this movie with Will Smith. You remember it? If you're as old as me, you remember it. Will Smith and aliens. And it was like, I don't like how you're treating aliens. My favorite alien movie is E.T. I was like, I don't like this. This is a misrepresentation of space. People, I can't. So I went to sleep, and I think my dad was like, not happy about it. And on a more serious note, men out there, I was remembering, like, sorry, I'm going to be a downer for a minute, like, don't, like, kick in doors and drag your daughters or girlfriends out of bed because they're sleeping. Like, what was I saying earlier about turning on your own light and your wings? Like, if you don't like your job and you're mad that your child or your girlfriend is sleeping in between college and work at night, and you think she should be being more productive in the middle of the day, or you deem that she should be doing something else in your house, don't do that. It's really mean and cruel. Just so you know, it has lasting traumatic effects. But anyway, I thought of that actually when Marcos was talking about his roommate that used to come in and order him around and say he didn't like his room and it wasn't clean enough for him. Actually, I remember my dad like came in my room, dragged me out of bed, and said, "You need to take down all these stupid fucking posters." It was like music, bands, unicorns, stuff like that. And I did, so I did. But anyway, that's a side note. Now I've completely... Oh yeah, I fell asleep in this movie. Susan was appalled. I don't think she was, but my dad was. Now I'm bummed out from that story. But anyway, like it is. It's not a nice alien movie. So I think that was... But anyway, later in the 90s, I was telling my Los Lobos story, right? You know how they play like 500,000 fucking ads before the movie? I don't know, man. I haven't been to a movie in a really long time. Maybe it wasn't Sixth Sense. I remember seeing that. There's literally like under 10 movies that I've seen in the theater. And I remember which ones I liked. Sixth Sense was one of them. I started out like in the fucking soundtrack. They started rolling over the credits. I was like, oh, this is fucking the shit. This movie's gonna be the shit. And it was. It's still one of my favorite movies ever. But, yeah, I don't know what dang movie I was going to see, but Los Lobos were hella fucking popular at that time. And it was dark, and they were playing ads. And there was a shit ton of people in the movies. And then, you know that one song, I think it's How Far Is Heaven, started because they're really good guitar players, apparently. Somebody in that band is like an amazing guitar player. And it started, and then the kids in front of me, they were about my age, they went, they just belted out. Before he said it, you know how that song goes? And I fucking laughed so hard because, you know, like music and humor is my thing. So I just fucking guffawed like full on Sagittarius style. And whoever it was beside me in the dark, I couldn't see. They looked at me, not the kids that had said it, but they looked right at me and went, shh, God. And I was like, and at the time, it's just like I had taken my posters down and gotten out of bed and did what my dad wanted. Well, I had to get out of bed. I was dragged out of bed, but this person told me to shh. And it stung and it upset me, and I did. I shh. I was like 20 something. Whenever that song was popular. But you know what? As irritating as that story was, like, I remember those kids belting that out. But I didn't look up that song the other day. I looked up their version of La Bamba, which I was dancing to in my bathroom, and then I started listening to all the actual Lionel Richie songs. I'm sorry, not Lionel Richie. Richie Valens, close. I like Lionel Richie too. Party, caramba, fiesta, forever. I like to read the Wikipedia entries for these songs, and Lionel said about that one, like, he composed it based on a feeling. You know how I like feelings, and the whole feeling behind that song was how he felt when he was on vacation, and when he wanted it to sound like a vacation and a party in a tropical land. And similar to that, I had looked up La Bamba. I keep wanting to say Lionel Richie, it's Richie Valens, and his process for writing that song, and it was apparently he didn't speak Spanish, and he wasn't even sure what he was saying, and he went to his somebody in his family, a great-grandmother or a grandmother, to help him not be disrespectful. And she helped him write it, or analyze the lyrics. I'm not sure if he wrote it. He's like, I didn't know what he was saying. I translated it. I'm not a sailor. I am a captain. Soy capitán, soy capitán. Ba, 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 ba. Richie! So anyway. I guess I'll just... Okay. Let me pull one more card. Nobody's in here, I don't think. Oh yeah, I have to move these guys. I have to move these. I don't want to light my animal. I really like this deck. Oh my god, the tablecloth is hot as fuck. Look at this one. Is it backwards? I know my nails are shit, guys. They went to shit like a couple weeks into September. This is from, I think, you know, Agat Indigo. Again, I don't know how to say a gate or Agat. Kind of rock, this kind of rock. Indigo. Hope always. This is the colorful side of my tarot table here. I got this, and I have a pumpkin spicy donut in here, the wax, and just a little tea light, and it smells hella good. And then I have all my colorful rocks on that side, and all the pink ones on the selenite. This one, sunstone. Sunstone has little pretty flecks. Okay, so before we go, hopefully it won't kick me off, I'll show you this deck. It's very special to me. The lady's name is Colette. She doesn't do the art. It seems to me like the artists should get more they should get more recognition, don't you think? Like, I know the Colette lady wrote the it's a pretty name, isn't it? Colette. I think it's French. I mean, I know she wrote the guidebook, but like the artwork is pretty fucking important, and I never see the artists on here. What's that? That looks like a pig. You know I like pigs, not like cops. I was listening to that Everlast song, or the artist formerly known as no, not formerly. Yeah, Everlast, House of Pain. He was, no, I don't eat pig because a pig is a cop. Came to get down. I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around. And then he said something like, I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If your bitch steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. I'm like, this guy's majestic. But I need to focus on the task at hand, which is shuffling. Shuffling on my not so stable tablecloth. Yes, that was amazing. Okay, we're gonna do one more shuffle, and we're gonna pick an oracle. I may or may not read from the book. I don't see the book here, and I can't expose my portal. Actually, I'm wearing shorts under this. I guess I can get up. That looks like a, what is that, a hawk? What's the shit? So guys, I hope I told one single solitary story and followed one line of thought at least tonight. I just love that moon one. Sorry, I don't have any music. Sorry, I didn't even bring my speaker, did I? I don't know, there's so much shit on this table. What's this? Ooh la la. Coyote? Alright. Okay. So you know I'm not cheating. I don't know what the hell I would be cheating for. Okay. I'm gonna get the book. Yeah. I'm always afraid someone is going to sign on like the moment I get my happy ass up and walk around. Okay. What is it? Is that a dolphin? Yeah. This and that are true. That sounds like some bullshit, dolphin. What are you talking about? What? This is the kind of thing that I pull when I'm in a bad mood. I guess I'm acting out of fear and not unconditional love. And then I pull the dolphin and I'm like, dolphin, don't piss me off with that kind of shit. Let's see if we can interpret it and not piss Colleen off. This and that are true. Okay. Who hates on dolphins like this? It's number 20. Obviously, it can be reduced to a 2-0. That cat is still in the cabinet. Dolphin spirit, like her earthly manifestation, is a reminder of duality. Did you guys ever play Gods of War? That sick-ass video game? No, you cannot jump up here. No, sorry. No, sorry. No, can do. Can't go for that. Anyway, every time I was like a Nimbus and my brother was something else, and every time I got slaughtered, even though that shouldn't happen to a Nimbus, it would go, fatality. I was like, God, that is so disrespectful. Anyway, why am I telling that story? Oh, duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit, both this and that. Two truths can coexist. The story you tell and another as well. That's kind of like what I was saying about my mom. The duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too, in that helpers appear. They do? Just kidding, I'm being kind of sarcastic. I did meet some new friends the other day, okay? And they offered to take me to Pancake House, whatever. All those gamer guys, they were all going to Pancake House to have dinner. And one of the guys, John, it was his birthday too. And so they were going to celebrate that, and they invited me, and I really wanted to go, but I had like a very bad puking migraine from absorbing everybody's grief, which I'm trying to not do. I'm trying to learn to not do that, but like I get around sadness or rage or whatever I get around, synesthesia, I'm just like, ugh. So I wanted to barf all the way home, which was like an hour. And I almost wanted to stop it, because see, I used to would have eaten all this crappy fast food that's like, at every exit, it's like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Wiener Schnitzels, all this crap. I would have gobbled that shit down, but I can't do anymore. I can't hardly eat anything. I'll throw back up stuff that isn't majestic. I eat based purely on color and things that are pretty anymore, or intuitively. Everything I do is intuitively. I'm sorry, you probably want to hear me talk about this. Sorry, don't want to hear me talk about it. Okay. Duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too in that Santa's helpers appear. Within clouds are silver linings. When we later reflect on what happened, good Lord, this is 50 pages. This is like the Industrial Revolution book I had to read, God, before recess. Anyway, it's about dolphins. When we later reflect on what happened, we see that a situation was both this and that, and a choice led to both joy and sorrow. Where's the joy? Where's the love, as Hansen said? No relationship is either all good or all bad, and all people have both qualities of light and shadow. This is true. Focus on the positive, like the hummingbird. Drink from the nectar. For light exists alongside the darkness. Dolphin Spirit calls for you to come up from below and enjoy a weightless moment in the sun as you dive in and out of this and that, accepting and even enjoying the duality of life. Why not join Dolphin in acknowledging and affirming the blessings present in this very moment? Like my ass talking to you online. Yeah, you can get behind that, right? Damn it, I lost my place. Okay, sorry. No, sorry, but we'll do the trick. We'll do the trick, but not right this second. I'm reading about Dolphin. I only have a limited amount of time. It's not cat time right now. Okay. In all areas of your life, there are aspects of both this and that. Today, celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present. As you move towards the new self you are becoming. Aspects of both selves are present. So even if you want to say goodbye to what was, you are required to find solace in this in-between time. See, Dolphin, this is the kind of shit that pisses me off, but okay. Okay. You're right, I am required. What the hell else am I going to do? You are required to... I lost my place. Oh, between time. Today is not a day to choose one over another either. Yeah, it is, Pikachu. I choose you. Let's move on. Rather, it is a time to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. For Christ's sake, with this resistance. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. Well, that would be the Sagittarius aspect. I must be stuck in the analyzing. Don't. Just a second. When you most want to be acknowledged as right, that means you are seeing others as wrong. It does. Dolphin appears as a reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you are admitting. Well, maybe I just don't fucking know. Like, God, I get so fucking defensive. This dolphin, like, I just want to smack him. Stop. And who wants to smack a dolphin? Do you want to see things in black and white? Well, I wanted to see them in either love or fear, yes. Do you want to be rigid in your idea of what is correct and what is not? Yes, I do. Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life as you recognize grays reminding you that there are two sides to every story. An upside to each down. A blessing to every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you. So let dolphins soften your heart so that you make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities that present themselves. Well, that would require a possibility to present itself, but okay. I'll play with them. I will, I promise. I promise. Speaking of, okay, great. I'm going to give you this just one. Ready? Can you see him? You can't even see him. See, look at this. Is in poor shape. This is a reflective of our lack of options. Oh, here he is. Okay, ready? I need you to catch it. Dude, shit, man. That bounced off his nose like a dolphin. Okay, well, we hope you have a happy equinox and new moon tomorrow. I'm happy to say I'm not being kicked off right now. I'm not leaving in handcuffs. I'm just saying goodbye. We love you. Dolphin loves you. God bless you. God bless the moon. God bless me, etc., etc. Have a good night. See you soon. Bye.